Viewer discretion advised. Informational content on bleeding control. Stay focused and listen closely. We will reference blood loss and trauma realistically. Videos may not accurately depict the proper medical procedures. Get real-life training. Use judgment. Prioritize safety. Now, let's say it's SHTF. You may have got shot, or you may have cut your leg while running from zombies, or you may have crashed your car during the EMP attack. You're bleeding, the kind that comes out fast, thick, warm, and way too much of it, and every hospital within reach is either collapsed, overrun, or sitting miles deep behind enemy ground. But let's bring this into real life right now. The same rules apply if you're injured in a car crash, a hunting accident, or a bad injury deep in the woods. This video is informational, not personal medical advice. Follow certified training and local laws. Techniques reference Red Cross, American Heart Association, and StopTheBleed guidelines. Seek professional care as soon as possible. In real emergencies, call for help first, then act within your training. I'm Lee. I've spent the last 30 years in the survival and preparedness world. I have trained special operators. Here's the reality. In certain situations, help isn't coming quickly. There may be no ambulance on standby, no clean ER, just you, your kit, and the need to act fast and act smart. Severe bleeding doesn't play favorites. Every human body loses blood the same way. But if you can settle your nerves, stay methodical, and do what needs to be done, you can slow that loss long enough to matter. In a major disaster, civil unrest or infrastructure collapse, emergency medical services might be overwhelmed, delayed, or completely unavailable. The average EMS response time in the US is 7 minutes under normal conditions. But when systems fail, that could be hours, or maybe even never. According to the American College of Surgeons' Stop the Bleed program, the #1 cause of preventable death after injury is uncontrolled bleeding. And here's what matters. Most trauma deaths from bleeding occur within the first 1 to 2 hours after injury. Ambulances may be delayed or unavailable. Prepare to act decisively and safely within your training. Don't become another statistic. Become educated and trained to help yourself and your family. This video is to encourage you to get the proper training locally from a professional. Stay calm. Breathe. Find the bleeding source quickly while maintaining scene safety. Think through the room, supplies scattered, power down, alarms silent. You need gloves, thick cloth or gauze, pressure and discipline. Control the bleed first, then manage shock. Small, deliberate steps, no panic, constant reassessment, and take further action. Before we go further, hit that subscribe button right now, and if you've got that friend who's always playing soldier on the weekends, thinks they're tactical because they watch some YouTube videos, share this with them, because when reality hits and someone's actually bleeding out in front of them, knowledge beats all that gear they bought. Now, you've stabilized the immediate threat. This is where discipline matters. Hold pressure, protect the wound, monitor breathing and mental state. What I'm covering is based on protocols from the American Red Cross, the American Heart Association, and the Department of Defense Stop the Bleed program. These aren't my opinions. These are evidence-based techniques proven in military combat, mass casualty events, and civilian trauma situations. I'm not a doctor. I'm not giving medical advice. I'm sharing information based on recognized training standards so you understand what professional responders do, and what you need to learn through proper certified training. Because watching this video doesn't make you trained. It makes you aware of what you need to go learn. Manuals and checklists exist for a reason. Courses build decision-making, safety, and hands-on skill. Use vetted curricula, not internet hacks. Train regularly and refresh skills yearly to keep them sharp. According to the 2020 American Heart Association and Red Cross guidelines, the first action for severe bleeding is direct manual pressure. This is the foundation everything else builds on. The Red Cross teaches to find the cleanest cloth available, a t-shirt, towel, or gauze. Fold it into a thick pad and apply firm, direct pressure onto the wound. Not gentle pressure, firm pressure like you're smothering a fire, because that's what you're doing, stopping a hemorrhage before it gets worse. Hold it there. Hard. And here's what the Stop the Bleed program emphasizes. Don't peek. Don't lift the dressing to check if it's still bleeding. Every time you lift to look, you disrupt clot formation and you're back to square one. If blood soaks through the first dressing, add another layer on top. Never remove the original. That first layer is where the clot is forming. Removing it tears the clot apart and restarts the bleeding. For an arm or leg injury, the Red Cross also recommends elevation above heart level when possible. Gravity is free and effective, reducing blood flow to the injury. If the wound is on the torso or head, skip elevation and just keep pressing. Training data shows that proper direct pressure controls most extremity bleeding if maintained for at least 3 to 5 continuous minutes. That's longer than you think. Your arms will tire and your hands will cramp, but you must maintain that pressure. This is where discipline beats panic. Guidelines state tourniquets should be used for life-threatening bleeding not controlled by direct pressure. My primary is the CAT Combat Application Tourniquet. It's TCCC approved and proven effective. I also carry a RATS. While not TCCC approved, it's compact and fits smaller limbs like on children, making it a viable option when a CAT isn't immediately available. To apply, place it 2 to 3 inches above the wound, between the injury and the heart, never on a joint. Pull the strap tight, then twist the windlass until bleeding stops. It will hurt, that's how you know it's working. Mark the application time. A tourniquet left on for up to 2 hours has minimal risk of permanent damage. If one doesn't stop the bleeding, apply a second one directly above the first, closer to the heart. For life-threatening bleeds where a tourniquet can't be used, like the neck, shoulder, or groin, the technique is wound packing. This is an advanced skill. I'm explaining the concept, but you must get certified hands-on training before ever attempting it. The process involves packing sterile gauze directly into the deepest part of the wound, layering it in firmly until the cavity is full. Then, apply firm, direct pressure over the packed wound for at least 3 minutes. Hemostatic dressings, like QuikClot or Celox, are impregnated with agents that promote rapid clotting. Guidelines recommend them when available, as they can control bleeding faster than standard gauze. But again, their effectiveness depends entirely on proper technique, which requires certified training. The Red Cross teaches that shock is a life-threatening condition where the body isn't getting enough oxygen-rich blood to vital organs. According to their guidelines, shock can develop even after bleeding is controlled, and it kills more people than the actual injuries. Stop the bleed. Training covers these warning signs from Red Cross protocols: pale or bluish skin, rapid weak pulse that feels thready, rapid shallow breathing, confusion or altered mental status, cold, clammy skin, nausea or vomiting, progressive weakness. And here's the thing about checking these symptoms on yourself. If you realize you're confused, that's a very bad sign. American Heart Association guidelines for shock management are straightforward. Have the person lie flat immediately. Elevate their legs about 12 inches if there are no suspected spinal injuries or broken leg bones. This improves blood flow to vital organs. Keep them warm using blankets, coats, jackets, whatever you've got. Hypothermia accelerates shock. Reassure them and keep them calm. Psychological stress worsens shock. Monitor their condition continuously. According to Red Cross protocols, sip water if they're conscious and not vomiting, but don't chug it. The stomach isn't interested in processing a gallon of anything during shock. Here's what's happening physiologically. Blood loss causes decreased oxygen delivery to tissues. The body compensates by shunting blood away from extremities toward vital organs: brain, heart, lungs. Heart rate increases trying to maintain pressure. Breathing becomes rapid, trying to increase oxygen intake. Eventually, if uncorrected, organs fail and the person dies. The Stop the Bleed program emphasizes that bleeding control must be paired with shock prevention for maximum survival rates. You can stop the bleeding perfectly, but if shock progresses unchecked, the person still dies. Here's what you absolutely need to understand. Watching this video does not make you trained. You need hands-on training from certified instructors. Look for courses like the American College of Surgeons Stop the Bleed program, which has trained millions worldwide. These short, low-cost classes significantly improve your skill, confidence, and willingness to help in an emergency. For more comprehensive skills, especially for remote environments, I strongly recommend Wilderness First Aid or Wilderness First Responder training. And don't skip basic first aid and CPR. These cover fundamentals that apply anywhere. The bottom line: bystander intervention with proper training reduces preventable deaths. Get certified, not eventually, now. The American College of Surgeons Stop the Bleed program recommends bleeding control kits contain at least one TCCC-approved tourniquet, hemostatic gauze dressing, standard gauze pads, compression bandages, nitrile gloves, and trauma shears. Here's my personal setup based on 30 years in this field. 2 CAT tourniquets, 1 in my vehicle trauma kit, 1 in my everyday carry medical pouch, 1 RATS tourniquet in my belt kit for concealability, 3 packs of hemostatic gauze, QuikClot combat gauze, or Celox, based on American Heart Association recommendations, standard gauze, compression bandages, chest seals, medical tape, nitrile gloves, trauma shears. According to Red Cross recommendations, stage kits in multiple locations, vehicle, workplace, home, bug-out bag, replace any items after use, check expiration dates annually. For 30 years, I've been in the survival and prepping field training people in field medicine. The difference between someone bleeding out on a dirty floor and someone surviving long enough to get to a hospital is often one trained person who kept their hands steady and executed the basics correctly. You don't need to be a special operator, you don't need to be a paramedic, you need Red Cross, Stop the Bleed, and wilderness first aid training. You need basic equipment, and you need the discipline to act when everyone else is panicking. Get trained through certified organizations, get equipped with quality gear, because when seconds matter and help is hours away, you might be the only chance someone has. If this information was valuable, share it, subscribe if you haven't. I'm covering real-world survival and preparedness based on actual experience and established protocols. No fantasy scenarios, just what actually works when everything fails. Stay trained, stay prepared, stay capable.